What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video, and today some more Dragon Ball FighterZ. So earlier this year, Kefla dropped. She was the first character we got in Season 3. I made a few videos about her pretty early when she came out, and as usual, I try out every DLC character, so I gave her a shot for about a week, and my opinion on her has kind of changed as the season has gone on, and I think a lot of people actually misunderstand her. So I wanted to clear up some things about her, in my opinion, and actually talk about what I think is really good about her right now. If you like the content I'm putting out, consider liking this video or subscribing to the channel if you already have not. It does help the channel grow, and I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So Kefla, she was the first character to drop in Season 3. A lot of people call her Lesser Bardock right now, and it's partly because of the tools she has. For instance, she has a JM like him, in that the first hit whiffs and the second hit connects, but it is quite slow. The second hit will actually pretty much always connect, and it connects pretty slowly here. She does have a lariat type move, right? Larry. To low, it travels decently far considering the speed. It's like 14 frames, so you're not seeing it at the maximum range, and if they're not ready for it and they're like trying to walk back or backdash, you'll catch them. But I think basically from there, the comparisons are, at least moveset wise, are not really there. So for instance, she has like a multi-key blast instead of just one. She also has a legitimate beam type projectile and an anti-air projectile. She has multiple multi-hitting attacks, so it's really hard to guard cancel her for kind of different reasons than Bardock. So in Bardock's case, what's so good about his offense is that all his mediums are safe. So like this is -4, this is -5, this jab, which has more blocks than the normal, is -3. This is -4. This is -5. Everything he has is safe, so his stagger game is really good. Now in Kefla's case, so her 5M is -7, so technically it's not safe, but it's a lot of hits, so you still kind of had to like hold that when you block it. This also is safe at -5, and again, since the multi-hits, you can't guard cancel it. But pretty much where most people draw this comparison from is because at a glance they have a really similar issue. So both characters are really strong, but there was a thought in Season 2 that is more prevalent now that Bardock actually has problems opening you up. If you're not playing Bardock and Kid Buu, which by the way is a pretty common combination, or in Season 3, just Bardock with any type of high blocks and assists, it's kind of hard for him to legitimately hit you in block strings. Does he necessarily need to win games? No. When compared to certain team builds, and in Season 2, you're thinking about your Kid Buu beams and like your Team Gohan and stuff like that. It could be hard sometimes to be like, man, I'm winning neutral all the time with Bardock. You know, I'm doing what I gotta do. I'm doing this thing, that's cool. I'm doing this thing, that's cool, and I'm getting in. But then once I get in, they're blocking all my 6Ms and technically my Dragon Rushes. What do? Like I have to do risky stuff to hit them. So Kefla is sort of similar in that regard. So for instance, they gave Kefla this auto combo. Now, the last hit of her auto combo only hits people who are standing. I've tried many things to try to get people to block this high. It's really hard / impossible to do it. So similarly to Bardock, she doesn't have a way to really get 50-50s on you very easily. You have to like condition people. She does have a couple of nice extra tools for offense, but at a glance, it doesn't seem that great. She has, for example, the 6H. You know, this is 27 frames. We're out here saying that 28 frame command grabs are too slow. So if you're saying that like Jiren's old command grab is too slow, but this is a good mix-up tool, then I don't know. And to be honest, we are kind of at the point where most characters have problems opening you up without high block stun assists. It's kind of like a design feature in the game. Like they want you to pick up block stun assists for when you get in only. They don't want you to be able to like get in, have good defense, and also have like really good offense all at the same time. In Kefla's case, when you look at the rest of her moveset, you will notice she has a couple of pretty unique things that certain characters help bring out a lot. So let's take a look at those. So one, she has this neutral clearing invincible projectile move, and she has this step that always goes behind you, and the uncharged versions travels through the air and puts you point blank. So Kefla is actually really good at getting in on people, but if you're only focused on like getting mix, like straight up like high-low mix with her, you're not going to be able to use these tools as well because you're not necessarily going to be able to like do these moves safely. But if you use defensive assist with her, she gets to move around the screen really freely. So yes, this move has no hitbox, right? But she's being covered by the Android 18 barrier. So essentially, if you try to punish this, you can't really do anything. So instead, we can build something like this. And now I get hit. This lets her move around the screen really freely. And I think defensive assists enable a bunch of her other stuff too. So 6H becomes much scarier because you can't counter mash it, because it's, even though it's slow, so you have time, the barrier will protect her, so you have to pick something else like reflect or just block it, or you have to try to jump. It helps her escape the corner much more safely too. So these are, I believe it's frame 3 or frame 4 invo. I actually don't know the number off the top of my head, but it's really fast. Normally, if she is, let's say, trying to get out here, if she's trying to escape alone, it could be kind of hard. But if you combine it with a defensive assist, you can cover yourself and escape. And you might be like, man, well, everyone can use defensive assist like this. It's not special to Kefla, but I think her unique movement options makes it so that it extra stands out. You have to consider that even from here, she always goes behind you. So she closes the gap between the characters and goes from mid-screen to point blank immediately. Having a safe, very safe way of doing this is exceptionally strong in this game, on top of the ways that we already know that you can use defensive assists like barrier. So of course, as a side note, defensive assist doesn't just mean barrier, it's just the one we see the most of her. A bunch of the successful Kefla players play her with 18, but that means any defensive assist, like a DP assist, like coolers or adult Gohans or teen Gohans, this new guard point that we got, anything is fine. It turns out then that she isn't exactly in the lane that we thought she was, even though she has a ton of tools that standard Dragon Ball characters have. She actually is a different type of character than we expected her to be, which I think is actually pretty cool. This makes her kind of line up with base Goku in that it's harder to place her on a team, but if you build a good team with her, it's pretty effective. And the way that you play neutral is going to be quite different. It's not going to be so much about like getting in on them, like trying to catch them. It's going to be more about moving around the screen and using your defensive assist to protect you while they try to get you. Well, then once she gets in, she has standard conditioning tools, really good offense, hard to guard cancel, and then again you can use the defensive assist in your offense to make it more difficult for your opponent to escape. Okay, hopefully that made sense. I mostly dropped her when she came out because I was one of those people too. I'm like, man, like honestly, if I play her, I should just play Bardock. And I kind of was not feeling playing Bardock with specifically a blocks and assist, so I was like, you know, she's cool, she got some interesting stuff, but I don't know. But seeing people develop her over these past few months has been pretty interesting. I think she actually is an interesting and well-made character. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.